Ever notice your brain turns a stubbed toe into a Shakespearean tragedy? Turns out, all that internal drama might be doing something brilliant, or at least entertaining.
Please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Check the description for trusted sponsors and ways to support the show. Here's something that really caught my attention recently. Sometimes our brains actively choose to make us miserable, and that might actually be the key to happiness. Let me explain why this counterintuitive idea could change everything we think about emotional well-being.
Well, that's a fascinating paradox. You're saying our minds deliberately create suffering?
Exactly right. Think about it like this. We're living in arguably the safest, most comfortable time in human history. Most of us aren't running from predators or struggling for basic survival, yet our minds keep generating stress, anxiety, and worry.
That's so true. Even with all our modern comforts, mental health challenges seem more prevalent than ever.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Let me draw a parallel to how we consume entertainment. Have you noticed how every successful movie follows a pattern of constant conflict?
Now that you mention it, movies are basically just 2 hours of watching characters struggle through problems.
Right. And here's the key insight. We absolutely love it. We wouldn't pay money to watch a film where everything's perfect and the main character just sits around feeling content.
Oh, wow, that would be incredibly boring. But what does this tell us about our own minds?
Well, it suggests something profound. What if these supposedly negative emotions aren't actually negative at all? What if our minds are deliberately seeking out these experiences because they're inherently valuable?
That reminds me of how people often listen to sad music when they're feeling down, instead of choosing something upbeat to change their mood.
Exactly. And research shows that people who listen to sad music when feeling down often report feeling better afterward. It's like we're seeking emotional resonance rather than trying to escape the feeling.
So you're suggesting that our minds might actually be getting exactly what they want when we experience these challenging emotions.
Precisely. Think about it. Every thought, every emotion we experience is exactly what our mind has chosen for us in that moment. It's not some external force making us feel these things.
Well, that's quite a perspective shift. How does this understanding change how we deal with difficult emotions?
Let me give you a practical example. You know that feeling when you're stuck in terrible traffic and your mind starts creating this whole dramatic narrative about how your day is ruined?
Oh yes, I know that feeling all too well. The frustration, the impatience, the whole internal drama.
Well, what if instead of fighting against those feelings, you could step back and see the humor in how your mind is choosing to create this entire emotional production? It's like watching a really good sitcom where you're both the main character and the audience.
That's such an interesting way to look at it, but how do we actually put this into practice?
Let's break it down with something we all experience. Hunger. When that sensation hits your stomach, notice how your mind immediately creates a whole sequence of thoughts and emotions.
Right? The craving, the slight panic if we can't eat right away, the fixation on food. Our minds really do create quite a show around it.
And here's where it gets fascinating. Your mind is orchestrating this entire experience. It notices the stomach sensation, creates the thought of hunger, then the thought of needing food, then the emotion of craving. It's like a director creating a scene.
That's really interesting. So, instead of getting caught up in the drama, we can appreciate the artistry of how our minds work.
Exactly. And research in cognitive psychology supports this. Studies show that when people can observe their thoughts with curiosity rather than judgment, their stress levels actually decrease.
This reminds me of something I read about Buddhist mindfulness practices. They often talk about becoming the observer of your thoughts rather than getting caught up in them.
Yes. And modern neuroscience is catching up to these ancient insights. Brain imaging studies show that when people observe their emotions instead of identifying with them, different neural networks activate.
So how long does it typically take to develop this new relationship with our thoughts and emotions?
Well, in my experience, it took about 3 weeks of consistently practicing this perspective before it really clicked. It's like learning a new language. At first, it feels awkward, but eventually it becomes natural.
That makes sense. And I imagine the benefits go beyond just feeling better.
Absolutely right. Studies show this kind of metacognitive awareness can improve decision-making, reduce anxiety, and even enhance creativity. It's like upgrading your mind's operating system.
Well, that's fascinating. Do you have any specific techniques for people who want to start practicing this approach?
Here's a simple one. Whenever you notice a strong emotion, try asking yourself, Isn't it interesting how my mind is choosing to create this experience right now? It's like becoming a curious scientist, observing your own consciousness.
That's such a gentle way to approach it. Instead of trying to fix or change our thoughts, we're just observing them with interest.
Right. And here's another powerful technique. Try to find the humor in your mind's dramatic productions. When you catch yourself catastrophizing about something minor, see if you can appreciate the comedy in it.
Like when we turn a minor inconvenience into an epic tragedy in our minds.
Exactly. And research shows that using humor as a coping mechanism can significantly reduce stress hormones in the body. It's like giving your brain a mini vacation from its own drama.
This whole approach seems to offer a kind of freedom. We don't have to make everything okay or positive. We can just appreciate the full range of our mental experience.
That's precisely it. And studies in positive psychology suggest that this kind of acceptance, paradoxically, leads to greater well-being than constantly trying to fix our negative emotions.
So what would you say to someone who's skeptical about this whole approach?
Well, I'd encourage them to try it as an experiment. Just for one day, try viewing your mind's activities as an entertaining show rather than a problem to solve. Notice what changes.
That sounds like a manageable way to start. Any final thoughts for our listeners?
Yes, remember that your mind is the most brilliant storyteller, director, and audience member all rolled into one. Instead of fighting against its productions, try appreciating its creativity. You might find that the very things you've been trying to escape are actually the key to a richer, more enjoyable life.
That's such a powerful way to look at it. Thank you for sharing these insights.
And remember, just like a good movie needs its ups and downs to be engaging, our lives need those variations to be meaningful. It's all part of the show. Thanks for tuning in to the Wellness Lab Digest. If this episode helped you, here are 3 quick ways to support the show. 1. Subscribe to stay updated with fresh, body-loving wellness insights. 2. Share this episode with a friend who needs this today. 3. Comment below and tell us what topics you'd love to hear next. Want to do even more? Check the video description for ways to support the show. Stay curious, stay well, and we'll see you in the next episode.